Good morning, guys. Ultimate Fishing Addict here. You know, I got to do something this morning. I decided not to go fishing, which I always hate, but I got to do something. I need to clean some reels and grease up and oil some reels up. Something I've severely neglected the last few days. I've been fishing the pond down there quite a bit, almost every single day, and there's quite a bit of scum on the pond at different times, and that just totally cakes up and clogs up your reels and the guides on your rods. And so I'm going to do a little bit of reel cleaning and WD-40 in this morning. Let's head out to the garage and get some rods and some reels. See what we can find here in the tackle wagon. I don't know if you guys have seen this before, but this is my little wagon I hook up behind the tractor and take out down to the pond with me. It's easy for me to drag everything down there, and I can just throw everything back in it and bring it back with me. I'm going to grab some rods and reels here. Let me see if I can set this camera up on the tractor head without just totally making a mess out of this video and knocking everything over. This one here's got my braid on it, which is the one I like to use obviously for my pitching and flipping and my frogging, but it just got so clogged up the other day that it was just pitiful. I couldn't even get it to even cast hardly. So I'm going to take it and a couple of these others in there in the house and see if we can't. Take this one, and I want to take my, let's see, where's my, I got my Zebco in my hand, and the Synergy titanium. I want to take it in there and clean it up too. So let's take all three of these in. I'm going to take these in there and clean them up and get some WD-40 in them and see if we can't get them working a little bit better, a little bit cleaner. Let's see. Like I said, it's something you don't want to neglect, guys. I have been guilty of it the last week or so, 10 days. I've just been fishing so much, I have not even taken the time to make sure my reels are clean, and that has really affected the last couple trips out. I know yesterday I was really fighting my reels to get smooth action out of them, and so I really need to do some improving on that. Alright guys, I'm back again. Alright, as I said when I started this video, one thing that I've really been neglecting is reel cleaning. And I fish a fairly scummy pond that's got quite a bit of pond scum on top of it most of the time in most areas. And so the reels really get dirty, grimy, just that green scum all over everything, like the inside of your cap where your guide is. I use spin cast reels mostly. It's my preference, what I'm comfortable with. You get scum around the inside of your top cover. You get scum all along the inside of your guide where your top area spins. Then if you take your handle off and you pop this side cover off, I'm sure we're going to see that there is just inside here where the gears and everything are, there's just a ton of scum in there. So we got a rag, some WD-40, a couple sizes of Q-tips, some screwdrivers. Let's see if we can't get this thing cleaned up a little bit. Okay, I got a smaller screwdriver. Maybe we can get to business and get going to business here. Alright, let's get these screws out of here and get this thing opened up so we can take a look and see how much dirt and scum's in there. I know this was real, what was the reel that was really sticking on me. This is the one that has my braid in it, so it's kind of important when I'm doing the topwater frogging fishing that I have my braid, especially in some of that grass and mat that I'm fishing in over there. I jerked it off and put a reel on that had 15-pound mono, which worked yesterday morning okay. I mean, I wasn't super confident. I was just really careful on the bigger fish that I caught to make sure that I didn't put too much pressure on him. Alright, let's see if we can get this thing off. I know I can see the scum already around the lid, so this thing has got to be pretty dirty. This is our main gear in there. Let me show you that. This thing is really filthy. Really dirty. So I'm going to spray some WD-40 on this thing and see if we can't get it cleaned up a little bit. It is just filthy dirty. We'll take that Q-tip and just really go along this gear area right here. You can see already all the dirt that's coming off that thing is just filthy dirty. Which is, like I said, is something I have neglected pretty bad in the last few weeks, to clean up any of these reels, which is something I usually do actually about once every 10 days, especially if I'm fishing the pond where I've been fishing, because there's just like I said, there's just a ton of scum and stuff in that pond, so you can just be guaranteed all that's going in your reel. After about a week, you've got a mess going on in your hands. So the best thing you can do is take these things apart and get it cleaned up, and then spray some WD-40 on them and put them back together, and hopefully you'll, even if you're using bait casters, I mean, the same thing. I mean, you need to take some Q-tips, you need to take some WD-40, some kind of good lithium grease or something, and go ahead and clean them things up, especially if you're fishing really scummy, dirty water. And these gears on this are just full of scum and dirt. Alright, that cleans that main gear up pretty good. This inside here is just an absolute filth fest. I don't know if you can get it, I don't know if I can get that on camera for you, but that is just filthy. So I'm going to take a Q-tip in there and try to get this thing cleaned up a little bit. Let's use a smaller Q-tip on that. Looks pretty good. A lot cleaner than it was, that's for sure. Feed our braid back through here. cross threading it. There we go. Put our handle back on. You got to be careful with this little, on these Garcias, Garcias, you got to be careful on this little screw that screws your handle back in, because if you're not careful, it will get cross-threaded really easy. I did that on one other and had to order another handle and another screw from Garcia. That screwed in there as tight as you can without. The other thing is, do not strip these. You can strip these really easy by over tightening. It's just really just finger tight. Alright, I think we got us a cleaned up reel. Alright, I told you I had a surprise for you. Well, look what I busted out. Spin cast. Or not a spin cast, I'm sorry, a bait caster. And you guys know, if you watch my channel any at all, you know that I am a spin cast advocate, and that's what I fish with. That's what I love to fish with. And so, I've had nothing but trouble with bait casters. I have tried my best to use bait casters over and over and over, and I've just had nothing but trouble. I am going to try bait casters again. And I'm going to throw this bait caster on my 6'6" medium action rod and see what we can do with it. Take this cheap Shakespeare reel off of here that my son had been using. Take this float off of here. And we'll put our bait caster back on here. This is the rod I originally had it on. This is just a casting rod, and I just did not like it. I tried my best over and over, watched videos on how to cast them, how to set them. I just couldn't get them to work for me. But you know what? You always got to give something a try again. I've left it alone now for like 6 weeks or 2 months, and you know what? It's time to give it a try again. So I'm gonna go out after a while and put a sinker on this thing and sit out there in the yard and do some casting. In fact, I might even take you along here in a little bit. But yeah, guys, like I said, don't neglect your reel maintenance. Because if you're fishing scummy water, you're fishing a lot, or you fish all the time like I do, eventually your reels are going to get scummed up and they're going to get dirty. And you are going to have to fix it. You know, tear them apart, clean them out like I did, get some Q-tips, get you some WD-40, get you some good lithium, spray grease, put in there, get them cleaned out, because it's going to be beneficial to you in the end. Stop the frustration when you're out there on the water like I had a couple of days ago, where that reel was so bad with my braid on it, I couldn't even use it. It was just like gravel every time you turned the handle, and it just had so much dirt in it, it wouldn't even turn hardly. So I had to rip it off and put on a reel with mono on it that I didn't want to use, especially for frogging. Alright guys, I told you I'd let you watch me make a couple attempts at casting a bait caster. So I got the reel put on and let a little 8-ounce weight on here. So hopefully I got this thing set up right and adjusted right. It's I don't know what I'm doing, I'll be honest with you. I've used spin cast all my life, or just a regular spinning reel, or a bait caster, or a regular spinning reel, and so I've never really fooled with these bait casters hardly at all. So I thought I'd give it a try again, see what I can do with this thing. So alright, here goes nothing, guys. knew things were going a little bit too good, guys. I knew we were going along just a little bit too smooth there. Got my first backlash. Not too bad though. A few feet. But yeah, one thing I've noticed about the bait caster since I've watched videos on how to cast them and how to set them up and all that stuff is a lot of it is having it on the right rod with the right line, right rod with the right line, and the right lure weight. Because with the spin casting equipment that I use all the time, you can use more of your arm in a full arc cast or just a flip cast. And I've noticed with a bait caster, to get it to run smooth and run straight out in front of you, you really have to just kind of use half your arm and just work from the elbow down, or elbow up, I mean, and kind of leave the upper part of your arm mobile. So it'll move but not really get into the range of motion like you can with a bait caster. I'm going to give it a couple more tries and then I'll be back with you guys. Alright guys, I think I'm going to quit while I'm ahead. Out of about 10 casts, I got one backlash, and I'm getting some pretty decent distance on it, so tomorrow morning when I go down to the water, I'm going to take it down there and put a lure on and give it a few tries, you know. Maybe I'll get into this bait caster thing. But anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting my channel. I really appreciate that. If you would subscribe if you haven't subscribed. By all means, share the channel and hit that like button. Alright guys, you have a good day. I'll see you in the morning on the water.